Hey all, Lens here for one more video on the Sirui 50mm anamorphic lens. This one is about making it better than it is straight out of the box. Here's some more test footage, and I want you to keep an eye on bokeh and flares. To make it clear, here's the original Sirui footage bokeh, and here's my upgraded version. I already knew what comments to expect on the fact that this is a 1.33 scope. No oval bokeh, boo-hoo. Well, 1.33 scopes are perfect candidates for oval aperture inserts. But I didn't feel super comfortable disassembling the lens on my first week with it. Who knows how complicated it is to reach the aperture? Then all the promotional videos came out and I saw this bit. That's the rear group. And that's the mount structure. Doesn't look too hard to get in there. So I went to check my contract with Sirui about disassembling the product and no restrictions about it. I pulled the mount apart using a Torx screwdriver, there's 4 screws, and a Phillips 000 for the metal part right under it, 3 screws. Once those are out, you can easily get a grip off the rear group and twist it out, giving clear access to the aperture mechanism. Woo! From there, things were easier. I made a custom aperture disc to complement the 1.33 compression and give me 2 times bokeh. You can find more about that on my Anamorphic guide, link in the description. Then I figured out how the oval had to be aligned based on the line on top of the lens, marked the rear group, taped the oval insert, and closed it back up. When putting the lens mount back, there are 2 things to watch out for. The first one are these tiny, super thin and fragile shims. Don't wreck them. Be patient if they get tangled up and align them with the holes for the screws. Then, when adding back the mount, make sure you mount it the right way. I messed up the first time and had the lens sideways on the camera. Now that the oval is installed, this lens is actually 1 stop darker. f1.8 becomes f2.4 wide open. You're better off adjusting exposure through a variable ND filter to keep the oval shape on bokeh. If you stop down the lens, the oval shape gets changed. The non-rotating front of the Sirui comes in handy because I can keep this ND attached for good. Also, since I want to use this lens for video, I would love to have some focus and iris gears on it. Installing them requires you to remove the back part of the lens too, so if you're installing an oval aperture, might as well add gears to it. There are links to the STL files in the description so you can print them yourself. Otherwise, you can buy prints from me. My shop is in the description too. Since we're cine versioning this lens, we might as well add an 80mm outer diameter front ring for clip-on matte boxes and other cine accessories. This pushes our filter threads from the original 67 to 77mm. SIMMOD Lens makes some gorgeous front lens caps, and this tab makes the lens extra flashy. Guess what? Links in the description. While you're at it, also pick up some diopters or close-up filters for extra bokeh and even closer focus. The last thing I want was a bit more of control over the flare color. Flares being super saturated only make life easier. This is a unique blue, and it's fairly easy to pick it up on Resolve or Lumetri and adjust it slightly to your liking. Deeper blues? Sure. Teal? Sounds good to me. I guess the purpose of this video is to show that your tool's limitations are not necessarily limitations to the quality of your work. In this case, my starting point was good. The lens is pretty neat without any of these things, but there was a lot of space for improvement, especially regarding the anamorphic character with the oval bokeh. Siri folks, if you're watching this video, try to pull off an adjustable oval aperture. It's a lifelong dream. Plus, add gears to focus and iris rings for a cine version of this lens. Alright, this wraps things up for 2019. Happy holidays and see you next year, folks. Chit Feathers out.